Heyo! Welcome to Omnibros Live, the Pop-tarts edition, where we have with us for food-related comics and Pop-tarts.
Omnibros Live.
Is that me? No, that's not me.
There you go. Sorry, that was me.
Okay. Pop-tarts edition. I am Omnidog, joined special guest appearance, Comics Guide 101, Lou Rodrigue. Lou, how's it going?
You know.
Good to see you. And we have Team Ryley Moore. Not only is Ryley here, but his fabulous wife, Megan, is going to be participating in the Pop-tart challenge tonight. How's it going, Ryley and Megan?
Plugging this into my head?
This is going to be my blindfold because we're going to do the Louise and I, at least, are going to be doing this blind, and we're going to be guessing the flavors as well as ranking them.
No, that doesn't reach.
Okay.
I'm just going to be ranking them because my blindfold and handcuff set is being used right now.
You sly dog, you.
Wait, who's using your stuff?
Hey, whoa, yeah, that's a good question.
She's upstairs waiting for me.
Let her know.
It's a surprise.
Sexy.
Don't fill up too much on the Pop-tarts.
I have plans for my Pop-tarts.
Wow. Okay.
Right on, man.
I need the water for my food.
Okay, so tonight, Luis and Ryley, and there's the sound of my Pop-tarts popping up. Luis and Ryley are going to Luis and Ryley are going to blindfold themselves or get themselves blindfolded and taste the Pop-tarts, see if they can figure out what they are and rank them. I will be just taste testing various kinds. I'm going to start out with the Oreo kind, cookies and cream and s'mores. I'm going to try those. I brought the toaster down to the Bat Cave. The Bat Toaster is getting going. And we're going to be talking about comics that have food remotely related to them. Even remotely related to them.
We should take a poll and see who eats Pop-tarts untoasted, toasted.
Yeah, is there a way we can do a poll in the chat? Is that a thing we can organize?
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea. There's a debate here. Is Ryley eats his raw, and Luis and I are eating ours cooked.
I like mine in the microwave.
Oh, there's that disembodied voice. She likes hers from the microwave. I've never tried that before.
I put mine in the broiler.
I grill mine. I like grill marks on mine.
You like them grilled?
Yeah.
Nice. Let's see. So, what's the first comic that everybody always thinks of when it comes to food?
Chew.
So that series just wrapped up, what, last year?
It's been 2 years?
2 years?
I don't know. It's been a little bit of time.
It has been a little bit of time because I have the Smorgasbord editions is what I have. And actually I've had them a couple of times. So, yeah, let's hear the premise of Chew and why it's so great. Before we, or I don't know, actually we can start the...
Answer what?
He said, what's the premise of Chew and why it's so great?
Oh, yeah. Megan read like 10 issues or something?
Way more than that.
There weren't that many out at the time that you read it.
Way more than that.
Like 25.
I think I was...
So almost half the run.
Chewy, calm down.
Yeah, the dog's even named Chewy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's named after the comic, not after Chewbacca, like I've always said.
Right. I'm gonna need to get some water too, since I've got 7 boxes of these things.
All right, so I've got 2 that are already popped out. I have no clue what the flavors are.
And is your gal gonna blindfold you, or is you just gonna pull them out and try them?
Don't blindfold me.
Okay.
So I know, obviously, we all know which ones we have. So it's not like a completely blind situation. Because I bought these. I went to the store and bought these today.
Yeah, but I've never tried them.
You're at a
Nice
big
blindfold.
because I've tried.
Wait, you've never tried Pop-Tarts?
I've never had anything other than the Oreo ones.
What? Those are like the worst ones too. The chocolate ones, like chocolate-based ones, are the worst
Ow.
ones. It's all the-
That's my eye. That's my other eye.
Calm down.
That's
Calm down. We are Cycle Cleveland. We're taste testing Pop-Tarts.
You need to put yours so I can organize these efficiently.
Okay, so she's gonna cut mine.
So it's funny because Ryley is probably a Pop-Tart connoisseur.
Mm.
So it's going to be interesting to see if he gets any right, and if so, how many.
I think that I'm gonna get all of them, all 6 that I have, right, without an issue. But it would be really embarrassing if I get Wildberry wrong, because Wildberry is my absolute favorite.
Right, and that's the one that I'm at a disadvantage on because Safeway doesn't have any.
Safeway.
So I went to Walmart because I knew that HEB does not have Wildberry, and I wanted Wildberry.
Nice. Yeah, so I don't get to. I've never tasted Wildberry, and that streak will continue as I'm not going to get to taste it tonight.
Yes, you
Okay.
are. Right here.
okay.
Okay, the guys are ready for their blind taste test.
Wait, your girl is.
She's unwrapping them, and you've got a knife so you can cut it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ryley asked me to cut into quarters so he doesn't eat 6 different Pop-Tarts.
I'm
which-
gonna
Sock into my s'mores one right here. This is what a s'mores looks like. I've never had a s'mores before.
Can't see it, Jess.
It looks like a s'mores.
Okay, how are we going to do this? Jess, do you want to go ahead since you're. Oh, there he is. He's already going ahead since he's working.
I'm trying it, and it's not awful. I think, does it have a graham cracker crust? That would have been better if it did.
You can always throw a graham cracker on top of it.
That's too much work. Yeah, no. Okay, this isn't horrible. I actually like it better than the chocolate fudge ones that I had. I tried those raw, and then I tried them cooked, and they were pretty forgettable. I apologize to Gabe because those are Gabe's favorites, so I apologize ahead of time to Gabe.
Yeah, well, he's not here right now, so you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who's ready to go? The blindfolded duo.
Already, y'all can go ahead.
Louise has only 3 of them, so if you're ready, you can do yours.
Am I ready?
Yeah, you're ready.
Okay, then I guess I'll go.
Okay.
All right. Kind of chalky.
Oh, you got blackboard Pop-Tarts. Blackboard and chalk.
I'm gonna say this is the strawberry. No, I
Should I
can't.
tell you? Because if I tell you before the end, then you'll sort of do a whole process of elimination.
Oh, that's true.
So I'm not going to
Okay.
tell you.
I'm gonna lock it in for saying strawberry. I think
Okay.
it's kind of chalky tasting. I don't like that one that much. Well,
And now here's what the Oreo look. Oops, I.
now my
Knocked it
mouth is
out.
ball.
Okay, this is what Oreos looks like. I've never had this before.
Okay, officially ready.
That's wretched. I'm not even gonna finish.
Ooh.
I'm not even gonna finish that one.
Damn it, Kellogg's.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
What does it taste like?
It's super sweet. It hurts my mouth, and then the chocolate tastes really fake. So it looks like it's marshmallow inside and a chocolate Pop-Tart outside. So it's artificial and super sweet, and I'm not a big fan of this one.
Which was that one, Jess?
That was the cookies and cream one.
Yeah, I hate that one.
I think that's the one you said you've had, Louise.
I had the Oreo one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that is.
I like that
That
one.
sounds disgusting.
Dang.
That's the one they always gave us in after school care.
You think that the Martian Manhunter would approve? Just bringing it back around to comics. Since Martian Manhunter loves, what do they call his Oreos? They're Choco somethings?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
What, in New Frontier?
no, just in the comics in general, the Martian Manhunter loves the little Oreo cookies, but they can't call them Oreos.
For legal reasons.
I remember in after he had died, there was a comic where they like placed it on his tomb or something, one of the cookies.
Chewy likes one of these.
I'm going to agree with Megan. The chocolate ones are not the strongest Pop-Tarts.
Yeah. And that's coming from a chocolate lover.
Mmm.
I'm ready.
The chocolate ones.
All right, so Jess, have you done all three of or all? No, you have a lot.
I got a lot. I've done two, s'mores and the Oreos one, and so and then Luis has done one. So now we're waiting for you to blindfoldedly taste one.
Okay, so now I'll do my first one.
Open.
What the hell did I log into?
Should I show the crowd what I'm giving him?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's exactly what I planned on doing for the next one.
The chat is wondering what the hell's going on here.
Good.
Nash Villains, Nicholas Munoz, Cycle Cleveland, they're all wondering what is going on here.
We've sold out and we don't even have the sponsor.
It's like some weird
Hey, I will be a whore for Pop-Tart.
So it's definitely, it's either, I think that one's the, I think that's the chocolate chip cookie dough. That's my answer.
Okay, and on a scale of 1, do you want to do a scale of 1 to 10? Or
I'm gonna start like right now. That's like the middle because that's the only one I've tried. So I'm gonna start that in the middle, and then I'll do everything else according to that. But I think it's gonna be on the lower end.
Okay, we'll give it a 5.
Okay.
Right.
No, Nash Villains, they're sticking Pop-Tarts into the dudes.
It's not the first
Have we not talked about how much we love I love Pop-Tarts in previous episodes? Like I thought that was a thing that we started. Me and Gabe always talk about them.
Yeah, and to bring comics into it, here is Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth, the kid with the antlers, loves chocolate and loves chocolate candy. So this is the comics-related portion of this episode when the old man is giving Sweet Tooth his nickname and giving him the candy. He starts getting, Gus, I guess, starts getting the candy. And we've discussed Chew, and Chew is the most famous food comic that's not manga-related.
Almond milk.
That's a good one.
Love almond milk.
All right, who's next?
Mine are still in the toaster.
Okay. So
All right, Luis, number 2.
Numero dos. What do we got? Jess, how long does it take for yours to toast?
The level of toastiness I set it for is 4.
I was about to say, are you doing it by candlelight?
Well done. You like well done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's definitely the peanut butter and chocolate one.
How is it?
It's not bad.
Sounds a lot better than the first one was for you.
It is. No, it is. But I love peanut butter, so it has more of a peanut butter taste than a chocolatey taste. It's definitely more peanut butter. But I like it. Dang, I really like that one. That one's really good. That's, I mean, if we're doing a scale, that's like an 8. And the first one's probably like a 5. That one's really good.
Peanut butter and chocolate. Okay, I saw that there, but it didn't look good. So, okay, mine just popped out of the toaster.
And luckily, I know that's the bigger box, so you've got a lot of those left.
Mm-hmm. I got 12 of them.
Nice.
All right, Jess.
Ah, they're too hot.
Steaks are well done. Okay. All right.
I set it for medium rare, and they came out medium.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna give Ryley.
Okay.
Open up. I think that's also the one that Chewy licked.
Oh. Did Chewy enjoy the raspberry Pop-tart?
Oh, he thinks he knows.
Wow, what a macho man. Okay, so in terms of this compared to the previous one.
Definitely better than the previous one.
So you would say 6, 7?
I mean, I guess it'll go into a 7 for right now.
Okay.
I'll assess at the end. After we finish this, I just want to say, like, after we finish doing this, I do intend on straight up just doing comic talk about like food related stuff. But have either of you guys read Anthony Bourdain's books?
No, I've heard they're pretty good though.
I haven't read them at all.
Get Jiro.
Yeah, we're all failures now.
Mm-hmm.
I read Kitchen Confidential, his prose book. That was good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Dude wrote that when he was like in his 50s or 40s, something like that.
Yeah, I think he was kind of a late bloomer success.
Yeah, he was. He was well into his life before he blew up.
All right, Pete.
Okay, I believe mine are cool enough to try now. I can't remember which one this is. This might be strawberry.
Is it white frosting?
Uh-huh.
It's strawberry.
But the raspberry has white frosting too.
Crap. Is it white frosting with rainbow sprinkles?
Yes.
The blueberry has rainbow sprinkles too.
But blueberry would be blue on the inside.
Right, and this is
right.
This is red on the inside. This is your Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts come from sewer.
What's raspberry's story? What's it got on the outside, Ryley?
I think it's just red sprinkles on the white frosting.
You know your Pop-Tarts.
I'm very impressed right now with this.
I am too.
I've never tried it before today.
I'm gonna give a tidbit or a little what are they called? Just a background story.
Fun fact. Flash fact.
Before Ryley and I got married, he was still living at home. His mom used to spend $1,200 a month on groceries. I followed up with her about 6 months after we got married, and she only spent $400 a month on groceries. So that will tell you that Ryley can consume $800 worth of groceries by himself a month.
Good God.
And $700 of that is Pop-Tarts?
Yeah. You guys, I went to
Clearly.
Portland for a conference, and I left him for a week, and he got Pop-Tarts, Oreos, pickles, olives. Yeah.
I spent as much on myself alone for 4 days. Excuse me, for 4 days as we do for both of us in a whole week. At the grocery store, not like eating out or anything, just at the grocery store.
Now, do you do grocery shopping together, or do you just not let Ryley go by himself?
We go together.
I don't let him go by himself, and I only bring him because grocery shopping by myself gives me anxiety.
Mm.
But every time we go, we grab something that he's like, oh, I need this.
I think raspberry so far is my favorite.
All right. Is that Luis or you?
Luis would be on his last one, or do you have your last one ready?
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is what he's having. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah, I like that one. Ooh. Dang, I'm not sure if that's the blueberry one or not. I'm gonna
Do you
say,
want another bite?
yeah, I'll take another bite. I'm gonna say, because I know the middle one is peanut butter. That's obvious. I'm gonna say this is blueberry, and that's a 9. That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely like that one. That's my favorite one.
Well, the only one you got right was
Of course.
the peanut butter one.
God damn it.
And the one you really like is my favorite, the strawberry.
Hey. There you
Yeah,
are.
I just took a big bite of strawberry. It was good.
Oh, can I take this off now?
Yeah.
Okay. Ow.
Sorry.
That's attached to my hand.
It's for you.
Whoa!
What?
Oh, his eyebrow was a little funky.
Peanut butter.
Oh, I thought I was sticking out or something. What are you getting
All
next?
right, so this is what's on the docket.
It's really Pop-tarts.
Oh, okay.
She had a bite of the peanut butter one.
Open my.
I'm gonna put blueberry and cherry in now. I have high hopes for these ones.
Okay.
Okay, so that one's blueberry. I'm gonna say that one I like less than raspberry, but more than the cookies dough.
Put it at a 6, unless you want to put cookie dough lower than a 5.
For cookie dough, I'm gonna move to a 4.
Mm-hmm.
This one will retain the place of 6.
Blueberry. This is
Right.
Blueberry one.
Jess, you're up.
Mine are just going in the toaster. I already reported that I had raspberry and strawberry, and I liked raspberry a lot, but I think strawberry was my favorite out of that group. I have just a bunch of half-eaten gross Pop-Tarts in front of me right now. That cookies and cream one was wretched.
Okay,
All right.
You had to experience that.
so this is what we've got next.
Okay. Nash Villains just threw $2 at it to say I'm paying y'all to talk about comics ASAP. Okay, this segment's almost over, dude.
Calm down.
That's my my wild berry.
But thank you for the $2, Nash Villains. It's appreciated.
We're gonna do some real good comic talk. I promise.
Yeah, the girls will be kicked out. Okay. In terms of numeric value, what would you give that one?
A 9.
Is
Is
that
there a Pop-Tart that you give a 10?
Wild berry with peanut butter on it. Well, you don't like peanut butter. It's just like having like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but it's a Pop-Tart.
But that's not a Pop-Tart. That's you adding in something.
And
So that means there isn't a Pop-Tart that you give a 10.
So this is the equivalent of Animal Man then in the Pop-Tart world as far as your preferred
yes,
Pop-Tart.
you got it.
So a perfect day for you would be reading Animal Man, eating a wild berry Pop-Tart, and then drinking bourbon and talking about Civil War II.
Well, I mean, if I want to put a bad cap to that day.
Right. Jess, are you still cooking?
Yeah, we're about halfway done.
All right,
Okay.
we got 2 more. Open.
That one's more. That's if the cookie dough is a 4, this is a 3.
Wow.
Yeah, s'mores wasn't high on my list either.
Maybe if I had heated it up, but I'm a savage. So
All right. Last but certainly not least.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Jake Knapp in the chat. What? PM me with your real name on Facebook, and I'll see what I can do about looking at your account to get into the Facebook group. I'm not actually allowed to approve anybody. Those privileges have been taken away from me, but I can see what I can
I
do.
can approve you.
If it helps, if you PayPal Jess $20.
That was cherry. So that's all of them, right?
That's all of them.
Okay, thank God. This thing is bothering my eyes.
And what did you think of the cherry ones? I just had cherry pop up. My Pop-tart just popped up. Cherry and blueberry.
Wow, it's bright.
Okay, what would you assign numerical value?
I'm gonna say that I like the other fruit ones better than cherry. So out of the 6 that I had, it would be wild berry, raspberry, blueberry, cherry, cookie dough, and s'mores. Did I get everything right?
Yeah.
I got all of them right. So
Wow.
I am accomplished. I feel so good right now.
Yeah, he's gonna talk about this for like the next month.
I knew that all the Pop-Tarts were.
I know. Am I getting kicked out?
You don't have to kick out just yet, at least. What would have made it even harder, though, is if you had bought them and not me, and I didn't know which Pop-Tarts you picked up.
Yeah.
But I feel like you, A, would have bought as many, and B, you might have bought weird flavors.
To throw you off, probably.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have bought as many. You might have bought like 3 or 4.
Because we don't need 6 boxes of Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
You guys, he's going to finish this. I guarantee you, check back like next Wednesday, they're going to be all gone.
I'm taking them to work, so I don't eat all of them. I'm going to offer them to my coworkers, but I feel like my coworkers are going to be like, we can't eat these cold.
We're not 12 anymore.
Yeah, I'm giving mine to my wife to take to work for the old people to eat.
I feel like if I were to eat them cold, it would wreck me for the whole day. Like my stomach.
I've had like literally 2 bites and my stomach's already messed up.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Dang.
Did you eat them raw?
No, they were warmed.
Oh my.
They're just really sweet.
They are very sweet.
Did you want any?
Well, I had the wild berry for dinner.
And right?
Yeah, I will say wild berry is probably my favorite.
Okay, so
I still have a couple Pop-Tarts to eat, but I'm letting them cool off, and we can start talking about comic books.
so Foodie
Like
comics.
Foodie comics.
So unfortunately, none of us have read the Anthony Bourdain comics, so I'm kind of sad about that because I was hoping someone could let us know if they were worth checking out. But I know Langdon Foss does the artwork, at least on one of them, and he's done some cool stuff in comics that I've read, so that's neat. Jess mentioned, because Jess is the one who's like, I haven't read any food comics, and I told him to just mention comics where food happens. So
Right.
Jess mentioned Gus in Sweet Tooth and how he likes to eat chocolate.
And here's the famous panel from Luis's favorite comic. What am I going to show him, Luis?
One of the best
Pancakes.
comics ever.
Pancakes.
Pancakes. The best 2-page story ever. Pancakes, where the boy has eaten the pancakes and is lost forever to hell.
I've been using that as a reaction image a lot. The hey, I love it.
Hey, I love it. What's all the noise about? It is the boy. He has eaten the pancake. He will never come back to us now. Truly, this is our blackest hour.
Hellboy eats a pancake, so he's never going back down.
Now, as far as the canon of the Hellboy comics goes, how important is that story?
Not at all, but it's super cute and it's really fun.
I was hoping you'd say it's detrimental.
No, not at all. It isn't important at all. I mean, he in the 1950 series and 1940 series where he's still young, he referenced it every once in a while. Like he wants pancakes, or you see him in the background always eating pancakes. So they throw it around here and there.
240
Now-
milligrams of sodium for 1 Pop-Tart.
How much sodium is in one Pop-Tart?
240 milligrams for 1 Pop-Tart, not even
God.
a pack.
Good God.
It's insane.
Sodium. What's the sugar?
Sugar's only 18, ironically.
So they're sweet
That's
and
for one
savory.
Pop-tart. And you, well, I guess if you eat two, that's probably like a can of Coke. I think Coke has like 30 grams of sugar.
Yeah, it's like 30, 32. Insane. Huh.
Where's my freaking wild berry?
Yeah, I'm gonna cut off the bones of this one and eat the sweet center.
Sugar with the devil.
Now, speaking of comics and pancakes, there was a comic that last week we kind of broke my balls about owning. That
Whose one's that?
has a pretty well-known pancake scene. The second Deadpool omnibus by Daniel Way.
Oh, I haven't read that because you've warned me away from it the entire 5 years I've known you.
Oh no, it was the first omnibus where one of the issues I think the onset of the issue, he's cooking pancakes. And he just makes a crap ton of them, and there's a mountain of pancakes. And then later in the story, there's a reason why he made a mountain of pancakes. But it's a famous scene from Way's run that a lot of people threw around the internet back at the time when that run was coming out. Which one are you eating?
That's the cherry one, and I polished the whole thing off.
Was that a good thing?
Yeah, I love cherry.
I don't think I've tried the cherry ones.
It is awfully sweet, though, I have to say.
Yeah.
These things are
He said that
way
was
sweet.
his favorite berry.
So do you prefer the cherry or the strawberry one, Jess?
I think I prefer cherry at this point.
I like cherry more than strawberry, but I like blueberry more than I like cherry. And Luis said he thought blueberry tasted like chalk.
I'm about to sock into blueberry. So let's see.
That wasn't that good for me.
You didn't dig it, huh?
Not at all.
Now, also Deadpool food related. Obviously, he's known for liking chimichangas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who doesn't like chimichangas? But I can't remember like any major point in a Deadpool story where chimichangas were really mentioned. It's just kind of a passing joke.
One-liner.
Yeah. Oh, another food. He had a meat suit.
Like Lady Gaga?
Kinda. He went into it was during the also Daniel Way run. I guess Daniel Way is also obsessed with food. We should get him on the show.
Can we say who we've got lined up yet?
Yeah.
Gabe already mentioned it last week.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Not important, I guess.
Well, if people haven't heard, yeah, we've got, I think our first person up is Eric Larson.
Woohoo!
He's next Wednesday, right?
Next Wednesday is going to be a show, a conversation with Eric Larson of Savage Dragon and Spider-Man fame.
And Image.
And then, yeah, one of the founders. And after that, I don't remember, I think September 5th or something like that is Fabian Nicieza, which we're all very excited about.
And then after that, we have Jess. Not as excited about that one.
Hang on, Gabe Infinity Watch. I did not say it was trash. I said that I had the chocolate fudge Pop-Tarts and I just wasn't a big fan of them. I did not say they were trash. Tyler Trent's trying to make trouble. And I'm not surprised. I just said they weren't my favorite. I tried them raw, I tried them cooked, and I just think that the chocolate Pop-Tarts are not my favorite. I like the fruit ones better. And I'm extremely full. And it looks like a battle zone on my plate here. Bunch of dead bodies of former Pop-Tarts and volunteer Pop-Tarts.
It reminds me of the scene in the movie Elf with Will Ferrell where he like gets the spaghetti and crumbles the Pop-Tarts and puts the syrup on it. That would be me. That's like me making breakfast.
Baby. Now because of the ants.
Oh, I'm not. I hope this doesn't turn into another dew bomb episode here.
How many are you eating, Jess?
I'm all done.
Okay, well, what is your ranking between? What did you have? 7?
Yeah. I didn't eat all 7 Pop-Tarts, but I had bites of all 7. Unfortunately, I'd say the lowest was chocolate fudge. No. The lowest was Oreo cookie, then s'more, then chocolate fudge. Let's see.
Put that outside and watch how the birds won't eat them.
Yeah. Then blueberry, then raspberry, then strawberry, then cherry. Cherry was my number 1.
Reason?
Like the chocolatey ones.
Well,
And she's
Kellogg's, right? Kellogg's Pop-Tarts? Yeah. Kellogg's, at me, please.
Sponsor this video.
At me any day. I don't need money. Just send me Pop-Tarts.
If you got a PR package of like 100 boxes of wild berry Pop-Tarts.
I'd be happy.
It lasts like a month.
Also, hear me out. Kellogg's, you should make peanut butter and jelly, not peanut butter and jelly Pop-Tart, but a peanut butter and jelly pack. You should have a peanut butter Pop-Tart packed with a fruit flavored Pop-Tart for people to eat together.
That
sounds good.
really good.
That actually sounds really good.
Sounds like the devil.
You sound like a company.
Watch that come out next month.
Yeah. They don't even say anything.
Jeff, do you remember when we were trying to predict Mars M&M flavors?
Yeah.
Didn't they come out with one?
I don't know. What if we say?
I don't remember.
Yeah, that was when you were visiting, right?
Yeah.
And we sat in my living room and came up with like 15 different M&M flavors.
Oh, I feel like we came up with 25 or 30.
Okay, yeah. I wish there was a poll feature. Okay, so toaster strudels or Pop-Tarts? I think I know where you stand. For me, toaster strudels all the way.
Toaster strudels.
Well, I eat Pop-Tarts cold. Like the Pop-Tarts for me I know it defeats the whole name of Pop-Tarts, but I eat them cold. I take them with me. I'll eat them like on the way to work or something. It's, toaster strudel is like, when I was growing up, a toaster strudel would be on the weekend when I'm not in a rush to get ready. I'd like come down and I'd pour my glass of OJ and I put the strudel in the toaster, slowly and perfectly put on the frosting.
Okay, it's not complicated.
It is complicated. It's very complicated.
Toaster strudels take the same amount of time as Pop-Tarts do. You just literally put them in the toaster.
Yeah, but I don't toast Pop-Tarts. But you have to toast toaster strudels.
I like the breakfast ones.
Those things are frozen, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about, y'all ever had toaster scramblers?
Oh, I fed those to my daughter a few times in grade school.
The way you said it made it sound really bad. But yeah, I was
not pleased with me.
All the time. It was the sausage, egg, and cheese ones.
I like those.
I couldn't get them to cook properly in the toaster, so I would microwave it for like 30 seconds and then toast it. Oh my god.
The middle was always cold, right?
Yeah, that's why I would microwave it a little bit to like heat it up, and then I'd toast it after that because it would heat it completely.
No. What you do is you toast it a little bit, cut it in half, and then put it back in for a little bit.
That's a good idea.
You've eaten toaster strudels.
Yeah. So comics.
What other comics? We've got you made a suggestion that we talk about The Walking Dead and iZombie. Those are about food.
So
People is food.
It's about eating, is what I was saying. So
eating.
It was originally, and if Gabe's still watching, he knows it was his idea. He said, in typical Gabe fashion, the cross is about food.
Of course.
Typical Gabe fashion.
So yes, The Walking Dead is another comic that is about eating. It is about zombies eating people. Commonly, you get to see people getting eaten.
Mm-hmm.
Or there was the whole arc with the cannibals. Remember?
Tainted meat. I remember that.
Tainted meat. But I feel like with Chew, we just like mentioned Chew, but didn't really talk about it. At all. And that's like the food comic. That's the one, as far as non-manga, like Western comics go, Chew is the food comic. And I think it was such a great series because it was like the sense of humor in putting food and like the FDA as a crime investigation, it was hilarious. You have like agents of the FDA going out there and investigating the illegal chicken and all that stuff. Made it a really funny series. I know a lot of people were not terribly satisfied with the conclusion of it, but whether the conclusion was great or not, the road there and just the characters that were introduced, the weird powers that all the characters had, like what is it? Cebapath is what he is, because when he eats, he can see the history of that item. And then they had his girlfriend would eat stuff and be able to write about it so nicely that you could like taste it. They had the his daughter could, what was she? She was able to make stuff out of chocolate, I think. I don't remember everything, and I just remember Jess hasn't even read all of it, so I'm spoiling.
You'll notice there was a huge gap of silence right there. Those are my thoughts on it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
But-
boy, you haven't read Chew, Jess? Not at all?
I read the first trade, and that I liked it, and so that convinced me to get it in hardcover. I liked it a lot. I just haven't completed it.
It just gets better. I didn't care for the ending, but 59 issues of great stuff, plus all the one-shots and stuff, doesn't take away from what I thought was an okay ending.
The Poyo one-shots.
Love the
The
Poyo
artist
one.
behind it is a really nice guy.
Yeah, the artist is also really nice. And he's doing, I mentioned this a week or two ago, he's doing the series Farmhand, which is also kind of food-related. Kind of. Oh, speaking of image series, I know I've recommended this one to you, Jess. I don't know if you've actually read it. Not necessarily about food, but Ice Cream Man.
Oh yeah, I'm saving that for October for my horror fest.
So Ice Cream Man is about, it's a horror anthology series, and every issue is, as the title suggests, or as the description suggests, is a self-contained horror story. It's very much like a Tales from the Crypt type deal, except the host is not the Crypt Keeper; it's the Ice Cream Man, who's this mysterious Ice Cream Man, classic caricature of a character with like a bow tie and the little paper hat, who drives the truck around town feeding ice cream to kids and stuff, and he interacts with these people who are having these weird things happen to them. It's really fantastic. It's only on issue 6 or something right now. Just came out this month, I believe. The trade, I believe, came out recently as well. I think it collects the first 4 issues. So I would definitely recommend picking up Ice Cream Man as a tangentially related to food comic.
Is that an official recommendation?
You know what? I'm going to slap that label on there. That's a recommendation.
Okay.
Do you know about recommendations?
I don't.
Recommendations, because I had recommended Jess at least a dozen books, and every recommendation he said was A+. Maybe not exactly A+, but I'm going to give myself that credit.
They were all great. That's why you were batting. I think you're batting like 14 for 14, and this is probably your 15th recommendation.
So
we had a whole episode on recommendations.
Yeah, so it's been 100%. 100%, just like with Pop-Tarts. I know my comics. I know specifically what to recommend for Jess. And so it turned into a whole thing. We started calling them recommendations. So yes, Ice Cream Man is my official recommendation for Jess for the month of October.
Nice. I'm going to read it with Harrow County.
That one's not really about food.
No, but
Don't talk about non-food comics here, Jess.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. What's another one, guys? I have a lot of them, but I don't want to talk about everything.
Let's see. I talked about Sweet Tooth. I showed you the pancake issue. Food. We talked about Chew. We talked about zombies. And see, I know there's manga on food, but I know even less about manga than I do about Chew. So Why don't you shoot us some manga knowledge?
Well, one of them I know Luis is familiar with is huh?
The chat.
I'm not familiar. I know one of them that Luis is familiar with is One Piece. We've both read. I don't know how much of One Piece you've read, but
to volume 8.
so you're familiar with it's focused around obviously pirates, and I've talked about it before. But the abilities that a lot of the characters get in this series come from the devil fruit. They're rare and special fruits that give a specific type of ability depending on which one you eat. The main character in the series, Monkey D. Luffy, eats a gum devil fruit, which turns him into a stretchy dude. So he can extend his body. Basically, he's a Reed Richards Plastic Man type of character. But in typical manga fashion, they do really weird things with it that you don't see in a lot of comics. Bless you.
Bless you.
And every character has their own different abilities that are spun off from the gums that they eat. Not every character, but a lot of them, such as let's see, what Buggy the Clown has I think it was like the cut fruit or the chop fruit that he can separate his body into segments. You have like a bunch of them will eat animal fruits. Like one of the characters on Luffy's crew is named Chopper, and he ate a human fruit, which made him able to turn from a deer into a human, and several stages in between that. There are a bunch of people that have animal fruits, like there's a dude that had eaten a giraffe fruit, so he can turn into a giraffe, or like a half human, half giraffe. A lot of elemental ones. There's the light fruit, a fire fruit, ice fruit. So throughout the series, most of the characters that you run into are strengthened by these devil fruits. As well, one of the main characters on the crew, I think the 4th or 5th member that Luffy gains, is Sanji, who is a chef who aspires to be the best chef, to go to the All Blue, which is where all 4 of the East, North, South, and West Blue all meet, and all of the fish from those oceans come together, and he wants to go to the All Blue and cook some of the best food he could possibly cook. So there's a lot of food-related stuff in One Piece.
Yeah, I really love the series. It really kicked off for me with the Sanji arc. That's where it really started getting good. I dug it. I really dug it. I love Sanji's background too. When you find out the whole situation with him as a kid, and when he's on an island and all this other stuff, it's really good. Oda has a really cool way of drawing the characters, and he's even early on you can see the works of somebody who is kind of a step above everybody else in terms of craftsmanship with the story, because it feels like even early on he's got some semblance of a plan where he's going to take most of the story.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
If you could sum up what this book's about, like if you were doing real manga, fake manga game with Gabe and I, what would the premise be?
Young boy with ability to stretch himself wants to travel around the entire world to find the greatest treasure that possibly exists.
And he's still not done. After 80+ volumes, what did Oda say he's how far done?
It's at over 900 chapters right now, and he most recently said 80%. So somewhere around 1,100 chapters.
There's 80 books of One Piece?
In America, I think 87 came out this month.
How many have you read, Ryley?
I'm caught up with all the American release, and I'm probably about 10 chapters behind the Japanese release.
Holy guacamole, that is impressive to be caught up with an 87 part of whatever I'm trying to say. 87 volumes of a book.
I've been reading it though since like 2003. So
he's been a part of it for a while.
It's not like all of a sudden one day I picked it up and I read 900 chapters about pirates and stuff. I picked it up in 2003 and I read 10 chapters and I read it as it was coming out in the U.S. And then at one point, because the U.S. was so far behind the Japanese release, like several hundred chapters, I just gave in and read it online. And then I've had to play catch up a few times. I'll like lose focus and then fall a few hundred chapters behind and do it all over again. But it's always really fun to catch up with it and see how the world expands and how characters evolve and stuff.
Yeah.
Gabe said go ahead. What?
Well, I was saying My Hero Academia is trucking along those lines. It's 14 volumes in right now. And I think
in America and 19 in Japan.
Yeah, and I think the mangaka said that he's only about 15-20% done with his story that he has mapped out so far.
He's definitely said that it was going to run longer than he originally anticipated.
Yeah, he's got it leading up to when they're adults, and even more than that.
Gabe said they got a bunch of Berserk in the store. What's the volume you need, Ryley, of Berserk?
Oh, I have all of Berserk.
Oh, you do? Is there a hard-to-find volume of Berserk?
There used to be. For a little bit, a few volumes went out of print, but then I think that Dark Horse, because volume 38 was being published, it was like the first volume to be published in years.
Yeah.
They reprinted everything.
Hmm.
Do you think we'll ever get a Berserk live action?
It's an interesting question.
I don't think they could do it.
I don't. You know,
I don't think they could do it and do it justice. I should say that, because they could do it, but they couldn't put half the crap that's in there.
The closest thing that I could say that would be like a live action Berserk would be Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I just realized something. We never talked about InStockTrades.com. All we talked about was Kellogg's, and they're not even a sponsor.
Shit. That's Jess's job. Jess, you're slacking on the job.
I got kerflummoxed with a toaster in front of me. It messed up my whole karma and vibration and everything. InStockTrades.com, where you can get up to 50% off your collected editions. Loyalty discounts add 2%. They quite often have sales that add 3% to that. Omnibroslive discount codes every quarter. Over $50 in the United States gets you free shipping, fabulous service, fabulous customer care, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com.
Use code Pop-tart at checkout.
Two books, just two more books that I want to talk about before I wrap up my portion of this.
We have some questions coming in on the chat. Trigonosis, are you trying to stir up something? Ryley, what's your opinion on the upcoming Spider-Man versus Venom Omni?
I'm buying it.
How about me, a regular old reader of Spider-Man and Venom? Should I get it?
The reason why a lot of people who are buying it are going to buy it is because it's the only place that you can get Maximum Carnage oversized. So if Maximum Carnage is a thing for you, then I would recommend it. But a lot of people do not want Maximum Carnage, so.
Is there a reason besides Maximum Carnage that I would want to get it? Does it have the original Venom appearances in it, and it's all of Venom's early appearances and things like that?
It does have the early appearances of Venom. However, all of the material that's in that omnibus, more or less all of the material aside from Maximum Carnage, is also packaged within the Michelini and McFarlane and Michelini and Larson omnibuses. So if you already own those two and you don't care about Maximum Carnage, I wouldn't recommend picking it up. If you already own those two and you do care about Maximum Carnage, I would recommend picking it up. I think the amount of double dipping is like somewhere around 12 to 15 issues of material that appears in both.
Mm.
But real quick, I was going to show, just to show Jess, here's volume 87 of One Piece. This is the most recent one that came out, I think, this month or last month. This is part 27 of the New World portion of the series, and it collects chapters 870 to 879. So just to give you an idea of the size of that series.
And One Piece is huge in Japan. It's like Luffy is basically their Mickey Mouse.
It's, yeah, I mean, being around for 20 years, it's definitely going to have that kind of influence. It's huge. It's really, it never took off quite as much in the US, but most readers of manga do enjoy One Piece. There's two other manga series, though, that I was going to mention, ones that are not quite so on the nose as like Yakitate Japan, Iron Walk Yan, or Iron Walk Jan, Kitchen Princess, and Food Wars, but two other series that do have food influence in them. Hunter x Hunter and Toriko. Now first, Hunter x Hunter, and I know, Luis, you've read Hunter x Hunter, at least a part of it. So in Hunter x Hunter, you have these characters who are trying to become officially licensed hunters. And being a hunter allows you access to all kinds of stuff. You know, you can go to different places in the world. You can do different things. And one of the, different people do it for different reasons. They'll do it to find, exotic locale, to find animals, to find whatever. And one of the things that people will do is become a gourmet hunter, which means that they go places looking for exotic foods and to try exotic dishes and stuff like that. So I wanted to mention that in Hunter x Hunter. You don't meet a ton of gourmet hunters. In the beginning of the series with the Hunter exam, you do meet a few people who are like, yeah, I'm trying to get my license so I can be a gourmet hunter. But it's not as prevalent as other types of hunters. But I mentioned this one because the next series, Toriko, this one reminded me a ton of Hunter x Hunter, because you have essentially they are gourmet hunters. That's what they're called in here. I don't remember what gourmet hunters are called in here, but yeah, in Toriko they're called gourmet hunters, and they do the same type of thing. They look for rare foods and animals and different fruits and vegetables, and they create dishes out of all the foods and stuff. And our main character, the titular character, Toriko, his main goal in the series is to create the perfect 7-course meal, I think is what it was, 7 courses. And throughout the series, which ran for 42 or 43 volumes, you see him traveling with his chef friend who prepares all these meals for him. And he decides, what's going to make it as one of the spots on his perfect 7-course meal. Along the way, of course, he fights a lot of big monstrous animals like this 4-armed gorilla, and meets a lot of other gourmet hunters that he has to go against. I've only read the first half dozen or so volumes of the series, so I'm not an expert by any means, but I did recently get the first 12, and so I'm looking forward to jumping back into this because it's been several years since I've read Toriko. That's all I got, guys.
I can't think of any other food-related books off the top of my head. There was an awful lot of food being eaten in the anime Samurai Champloo.
Yeah, there are episodes of there's episodes of Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
like the Mushroom Hunter episode.
Right, the 2 anime that I have seen and loved both of them.
I really need to watch Cowboy Bebop.
Oh yeah, that was the first one I ever saw. It was great. It was really riveting.
I can't believe I forgot about this series. I should probably mention this one because I've only maybe talked about it once on a show. Maybe I know I've talked about it on my channel. And that is Golden Kamui. Golden Kamui is set in the early 20th century in Japan, excuse me. And it follows this guy, the immortal Sugimoto, as he's trying to track down this treasure. But along the way, he meets up with this young girl who is from the Ainu tribe, which is like the people who live in the mountains of Hokkaido. And she basically helps him to survive by teaching him how to, you know, fashion weapons and clothes and whatnot, but also how to forage for food and cook and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of the series, like unexpectedly, a huge amount of the series is about this girl preparing food and like them eating together. And there's a word that they use, hina, throughout the series, which is a word to mean that it's, you know, something very delicious. I'm trying to look for a good scene where they're preparing food, but it's funny because I didn't go into the series expecting anything about food because it's not necessarily billed that way. But honestly, a huge amount of it is about them eating like different types of animals and stuff. Like here's one where they're eating squirrels that they've caught, and she prepares it and he's eating it in that page there. But it's a really awesome series with great artwork. There's some making some meatballs in there. Fantastic artwork throughout. Right now there's 5 volumes out. This is volume 5. This is the most recent one that's out. So it's not too lengthy just yet. It's been going for a little while in Japan, but it's easy to catch up on, unlike 87 volumes of One Piece. Or One
sounds
Piece,
intimidating.
you can get the 3-in-1 volumes, and it's like there's like 25 of them right now.
Those are the ones I have. They're good. They're good. They're great, but they're an affordable way to read a great story.
And it doesn't sound quite as intimidating. It's because they're what, like $15 or something?
It's at $15, depending on the volume.
That's all I got for you guys.
Okay. Well, this was the food episode, where we tasted various Pop-Tarts, decided what our favorite ones were, and we talked a little bit about comics, but we talked mostly about Pop-Tarts. So let me drop in another reference to InStockTrades.com, where you can get up to 50% off your collected editions. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. They frequently have sales with 3% added on. Omnibroslive code every quarter. Next week, as a matter of fact, we're giving away a gift card for $50. That'll be a week from today, which I believe is the last day of our shows before the end of the month. What's today, the 23rd? So next week will be the 30th. Yeah, next Thursday we'll be giving away the gift card for IST, $50. And they have fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging, and over $50 in orders gets you free shipping in the United States. That's InStockTrades.com.
Yeah.
Hey, I forgot about Jess. Have you read Too Much Coffee Man?
I've read a bunch of it.
Whoa.
What was that? I read a bunch of it in single issues, but I haven't read it in collected form yet. I've read a ton of it in singles.
That's food. Coffee is food.
Yeah, Too Much Coffee Man's funny.
I've never even heard of that. Oh no, I have heard of that. I take it back.
So what's what is Too Much Coffee Man? Just to throw this extra tidbits about comics in.
Well, he's like shaped like a coffee. He has a cup of coffee molded onto his head, and he's constantly drinking coffee. And he gets into situations where he philosophizes on life a lot, and it's the author's way of sort of examining social situations and, you know, what life is about from his perspective. So, oh, there's my last Pop-Tart. I'm going to finish off the cherry Pop-Tart in the package.
Oh, you're still not done with your Pop-Tarts?
Well, my favorite was the cherry, and it came 2 to a package.
Yeah.
So I'm eating the last one out of sheer joy of just having a Pop-Tart.
No longer forcing Pop-Tarts.
Right.
I got the Too Much Coffee Man Omnibus Plus, as it's labeled, because it was so cheap for such a huge freaking book.
It is ginormous.
It's this thing's massive, and it's got a cover price of $30. I think it was like $17 on IST when I bought it.
Mm-hmm.
I still have only read a few segments of it, but I mean, I'm just happy to have this giant coffee mug book on my shelf because it's hilarious.
It's pretty funny. Shannon Wheeler's actually really a funny writer. It's pretty snappy dialogue. It's very funny. His observations are funny.
Has he done any other comic work?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not familiar with him outside of Too Much Coffee Man.
Well.
Yeah.
Well.
Well, there's the book The Alcoholic. Alcohol's food if coffee's food. Of course, I shouldn't be the one talking about that.
There's also Seconds by Brian Lee O'Malley. Forgot to mention this one.
What's it about?
I like Seconds. I don't love it, but I liked it.
It was God, it's been so long I kind of forgot. It's something with the chick is a chef in a restaurant, like she runs a little restaurant or something like that, and it's, you know, food is just kind of the background because there's like a restaurant or cafe or whatever that she's in, and she eats this weird mushroom, and the mushroom, if I'm not mistaken, like, does she keep reliving something over and over? I don't remember exactly. I read it right when it came out, which was probably 3+ years ago. I haven't read it since, but I remembered enjoying it. It's similar, you know, obviously in style to Scott Pilgrim, but it's a single volume book. It's not a long series of books.
I don't think I own Seconds.
Now I feel like I need to reread it because I honestly do not remember much about what this book was about.
From what I remember, she was a chef and she wanted to be super successful. And her restaurant, it was doing okay. But then she eventually gains the ability, if I remember, to go back in time.
From eating the little mushrooms, and there's that little feral girl that keeps appearing.
Right, and every time she goes back in time, it would screw something else up.
Right. Yeah,
and she kept going back and trying to make corrections, but she couldn't get it right.
It was a fun little book. Yeah, I think I just read it in one sitting. It didn't take very long. It was a decent little read.
Mm-hmm. I didn't like it as much as Scott Pilgrim, obviously, but it was still pretty good.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. Yeah, I feel like anything else I'm going to talk about is really just going to be me reaching. So I don't want to keep like trying to push things, but I do want to make sure that everyone's aware of the couple of things that we've got upcoming. We mentioned already, but for anyone who wasn't in the watching earlier, we've got some creator stuff coming up. I don't want to call them interviews because we're trying to make them more conversations. Next week, next Wednesday, is Eric Larson of Savage Dragon and Spider-Man. And then I believe it was September the 5th, we have Fabian Nicieza lined up to be on the show. So we'll be talking about, I'm sure we'll talk about a lot of X-Men, X-Force, and Deadpool-related stuff. And I think didn't Gabe line up Ron Mars?
I think Ron Mars is who he's working on.
So Gabe's talking to Ron Mars, so hopefully that'll be number 3 for us. We'll be talking to Ron Mars, I'm sure, about a lot of Green Lantern and a lot of... apparently he doesn't mind talking about the whole fridging thing, is what I believe Gabe or Omar mentioned. So we might ask him about that. And I feel like there was another creator that we're looking at. But yeah, those are pretty, you know, we're excited about that stuff, excited to get people in to talk to these pros on the show. And then next Monday, we've got our big book review episode, our IST sponsored book, and that's going to be just to get everyone hyped up. The big hardcover for Letter 44. Who all is in on this review?
Me. I'm grabbing the book as we speak to remind me to read it now that you brought it up.
Yeah, we've got, what, 5 days? Wow, yours isn't even unwrapped.
Of course not.
Come on, Jess.
He's just gonna binge it the day before.
It's not a heavy read. It's, you know, it looks huge because it is a freaking huge book, but it's only, I think, 12 or 13 issues in there. And it's pretty good stuff. I've read it before, so it's definitely a little engrossing.
Oh,
I'm just wrapping up.
It's Charles Soule, right?
Yes, Charles Soule with not Raphael Albuquerque, but I forget his first name, but it's another Albuquerque who looks very different. Alberto Albuquerque. Very different art style from Raphael. Anyway, I'll go ahead and jump off now since my wife is in here. That means that she's wanting to hang out, and I'll go clean up all the Pop-Tarts that I left all over the place. But anyway, thanks guys for humoring me on the Pop-Tart episode. Hashtag not a sponsor. Hashtag talk to me Kellogg's, please. Hashtag for free. And I will see you guys on Monday to talk about Letter 44.
All righty, Ryley. You can catch Ryley on his channel.
My channel, yeah.
His channel. What's your channel on YouTube?
It is Ryley Mo, or you can just search the Omnibus Collector. And then, of course, the Facebook group that everyone likes to talk about how they can't get into is the Omnibus Collectors Comic Swap and Community. But all right, I'm out, guys. Peace out. I'll check y'all on Monday.
All righty. And Luis, where can they find you on the interwebs?
You can find me at Comics Guide 101 on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff.
Right on, man. It was good to have you on this episode.
Thank you.
Eating Pop-Tarts.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go throw up now.
Yeah, I am too.
No.
All right, buddy. Thanks, IST, for sponsoring us. Thank you in the chat for hanging with us through the Pop-Tart Madness episode. And leave some likes. Like our channel if you could. You can listen to us on iTunes for podcasting purposes. And whatever the Android equivalent is, you can do that too. So thanks for joining us. We appreciate all the love and support. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Love you.
Good night.